Hi, I'm Mark Mancini with VRBO Outstanding and Vacation Home Mastery. This week's episode, we're going to talk about the importance of having a retired LEO, law enforcement officer, at your short-term rental. So stay tuned. And welcome back. So it may seem like an odd topic for some of you, but if you've been in this business for as long as I have, you know the importance of knowing a retired LEO, whatever you want to call it, law enforcement officer near your vacation rental or short-term rental in case things go south. Now I'm joined this week with my brother John. You can see the similar looks. Some of us got the brain, some of us got the looks. I don't know, we have to fight that out. But anyway, I want to first talk to you about when people have parties at your VRBO and Airbnb booking, okay? So first thing you have to remember is that it's your house and it's your rules, okay? Airbnb does not permit parties. So if you can't get in touch with them or don't want to wait for them, you have to take action into your hands. VRBO allows parties, but if it's out of control, you have to step in and you have that authority. You are empowered. So don't wait. Don't post on Facebook and think, oh, I just have to wait for someone's advice before I do something. No, you have to act on it right away. So we're going to talk more about how to break those things up and the best way to do that right here. So first, I'm going to give the mic over to my brother John, and he's going to give you his background in law enforcement.
How you doing? I started out in law enforcement as a constable doing evictions and lockouts. I became a PI. We did matrimonials, fraud insurance. Then I went to a fugitive task force where I worked at the FBI and United States Marshal Service, recovering fugitives. And then I became a law enforcement officer for West Orange. There I became an instructor for Mace PR-24 firearms. And for firearms, I required the MOI, and I was able to teach at the academy. And I started our first K-9 unit over there.
You sound qualified.
Been around a bit.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I guess the first thing I want to talk about is, you know, you've got repair guys in your area, you've got cleaners and so forth. That's probably not the right person to send to break up a party, is it?
No, not at all. Most law enforcement officers, they used to have a thing called verbal judo. And nowadays everything is de-escalation, where it's not non-confrontational. And you just try and de-escalate and talk to the people and get an easy resolve to a problem without getting into a physical altercation.
And that's probably important because I guess you have, you know, repairmen and house cleaners, whoever you're going to call up, a neighbor to try to send there. And if you're not properly trained, things can go south probably pretty quickly. And I guess, you know, also too, when these guys come to a party that shouldn't be there, right, they know they can filter through the BS. Right?
Absolutely.
And suppose they have to call the police to get them involved to remove the people. What's the benefits of that?
The other thing is police officers are trained to observe, and they've been writing reports their whole life. So they know the law, they know what's going on. If it gets out of hand and the local police department has to get called in, they're more comfortable with a retired guy on. Everybody's on the same page, and it makes the whole situation a lot easier to resolve.
That makes sense. And by the way, we're really windy here in the Keys. I don't know if you can see the white caps in the background, but we also have a dinner we're doing for the top donors at our local Habitat for Humanity. So that's why we've got some chairs in the background. So I want to give you some background on that. But, you know, it's not only parties too, right? You may have someone who brought maybe an unauthorized pet, maybe more people at the house than you're licensed to. Like here in the Keys, one of our homes is allowed 6 people, another one allows 8. Suppose we see 10, 15 people show up that are going to stay the night. I can probably send them there for that as well, right?
Absolutely. What you don't want is to have somebody come in at 100% authority, because that's going to just make the person go to 100%. You want to come in and you want to just come down. Everybody calm down. Let's talk. Let's see what we can do. There's a problem. Let's resolve it. That's the way you want to treat problems. I mean, that's what police officers do their entire career. So it's second nature for them to resolve a situation peacefully.
And I guess too, when you have a party or something, or you have to remove people from a home, you want them to stay there the whole time, make sure nothing gets trashed, make sure everything is handled properly. And, you know, without being overbearing. And I guess too, having maybe a law enforcement officer, Leo, that is currently active might be a bit intimidating. That's why an older gentleman like maybe yourself would be less intimidating, maybe, but still have an impact, right?
The whole thing is it's also a deterrent. When people know that there's retired or law enforcement on there, they're less likely to get out of hand because they know the response is instant, where you're not going to have to wait and you're not going to be able to tell an officer arriving not knowing the situation, a bunch of lies. He's there, he's going to take it, he's going to address it. If it gets escalated, they're going to believe him over you.
And I guess, not to hopefully gets to this level, but usually they're also have a concealed carry permit with them, so they'll be able to handle the situation and stand up for it. I mean, this is what these guys have done their whole life, right? And they've got, look, if they went their whole career without dying, right, they're pretty good with de-escalating, right? Thing, yeah. So that's a plus. And a lot of people out there are going to ask John, okay, that sounds good. Okay, first of all, the first question I have is, where do I find a retired Leo? And the first thing I'm always going to say is, you've got hopefully a network of people at your vacation rental where you've got your repair guy, different repair guys, your electrician, your plumber, your AC guy, you've got your cleaners. Ask them, hey, do you know any retired cops that live in the area, right? Maybe they don't. Maybe your local Facebook group for that area. Also, you can ask, are there any retired Leo around? But where else can they go to try to find these guys?
The best way to go is to contact the town you're in, to the union rep, either PBA, FOP. They're going to have a whole slew of guys you can go to do side jobs. Also, there's an organization out there called Brothers Before Others that's active in retired law enforcement throughout the United States. So if you get caught in a bind, you don't really know where to go, they have a Facebook page. But you can just start with your police departments. They're always going to know guys that are retired.
And just so if you're not familiar with the acronyms, PBA, Policemen's Benevolent Association, FOP, Fraternal Order of Police, BBO, Brothers Before Others. And they're here to help. And they're hopefully going to make your job a lot easier, because you probably don't want to get in the middle of this, and you shouldn't get in the middle of this because it's your house. You're too emotionally attached. You need to separate yourself and get someone who's more level-headed, who doesn't want things to get out of control because they know what could happen. And so that's key. And having someone like that on speed dial is key. Now, you don't have to have these guys on full-time payroll, right?
Not at all.
You can pay them as you need them, right?
Per diem. So
really, and discuss it with them depending where you are, right? Maybe $50 an occurrence, might be $100, depending where you are. Cost of living may be higher, but some of these retired guys probably wouldn't do it for too expensive, right? I mean,
these are side jobs that supplement their pensions. So if it's an easy job, these guys love it. It's just, I mean, who wouldn't love being out here doing this? It just goes without saying. The other thing is, you got to realize too, having an officer there is basically an insurance policy. If it goes bad and you have to put it on paper, you want a guy that's had 30 years practice putting things on paper, knowing exactly the way you need it to go in case it goes in front of a judge. So you want experience, and you really have to think of it as an insurance policy.
Basically protect yourself. What's that commercial? If you don't need it, how does that go?
Don't know.
Okay. It's there if you need it, but if you don't need it, that's fine. But I'm telling you, throughout the course of your time as a short-term rental owner or vacation rental owner, you're probably going to have that need once or twice eventually. There's going to be somebody doing something at your vacation rental that's, bad. Hopefully it's not a party, but that's inevitable. So if you're prepared for it, that's half the battle. And I hope I gave you enough information. If you have any questions or want to make any comments, right below is where we put all that information. I want you to reach out to my brother John, myself, and ask any questions, put any advice in, maybe a story about a party you've had at your place and how you've handled it, okay? Remember, we've just hit over 70,000 views on this YouTube channel. I want you to share this link. I want you to hit like and subscribe, and then we'll see you again next time for VRB Outstanding and Vacation Home Mastery.